Hi guys, I wanted to hop on and address something that was brought to my attention last week. Shout out to Sean, who sent me a video of this girl who broke down the potential scam that this competition is. And at first I was like, okay, what if this person is just trying to make everyone just stop being in the competition and so she can take the win, right? The ego, right? And I had to sleep on it. I was like, okay, I don't know. I have to like reread whatever she's saying because I don't want to take it for what it is. Like I have to do my own research, right? Then I connected the dots that like, okay, things started to make sense because I was restricted from Facebook just like last week as well, just for sharing the link of the competition. So like very enthusiastically, I was just like sharing this link in every group I knew. A week after, it got like read as a scam because they use Facebook to verify. I was under the impression that it was just like, oh, okay, it goes with it, it's approved by Facebook. So when I got hit with like Facebook themselves restricted my account, profile photo was taken down, I couldn't post on groups, I still can't. I think like I'm still restricted until like July, at some point in July. And it says like I can't create ads, I can't go live. And I was actually planning on going live to paint live while this competition was going, so I can get more votes and things like that. So it was crazy how that was stopped. And I did dive into this head first. It's crazy because it's not the first time that I'm like probably under like not a victim, right? But I'm joining some type of like scam or, like under some corporation and whatever, based on dreams, based on your hopes and desires. And it was really rough for me to admit it, right? But then, boom. I ended up having another person come up and send me a screenshot of what it came up to them when they were trying to vote for free. And I'm like, okay, interesting. So I was restricted. They're not letting people vote even for free. And then I saw something that like apparently for someone else it happened, nothing with the people who voted for me or donated, but apparently there was someone who their money was taken out without their consent after they donated for someone once. So I was like, oh, I don't want that to happen to the people who have donated to me. And it's in the rules and regulations that like you can't get like a refund, you can't sue them, so they're protecting their booties, right? So now I'm just like, okay, what do I do? Would it be a form of self-sabotage to withdraw from the competition? Would it be my ego or protecting my ego to not say anything about it and just to boop, dissolve and everything? And I'm just like, no, this needs to be addressed because whoever did donate, I want them to check their accounts. So whatever card that you use, you might have to switch it just in case. I feel like it'll be preferably just in case so they don't pull money out eventually, like don't find out the hard way. And so I'm like, okay, I need to sleep on it. I was really exhausted because I angry cried, which is like so draining. Because at first I was like, oh my god, they're targeting artists, like this is annoying, like, you know what I mean? Like I feel very protective nowadays about unfair shit, and this was a form of injustice, and it kind of still is, like in some way, shape, or form. Just from keeping things to themselves, like even if it's the information is out there, like who's gonna really go out their way to like research all of this stuff? So it was really like annoying to find out like what they make versus what they pay out. Like, yeah, like the system was kind of made more for the votes, right, rather than the art itself. So it doesn't matter, like I feels like it doesn't matter how much you believe in yourself, which I entirely do. I believe in my talents, I believe in myself. It's not about that because people that support me could be in jeopardy of being scammed, and I don't like that. Okay, so another confirmation is because I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. God, please show me what the F do I do, in this situation, right? Because this is the first time I join a contest, let alone an art contest, period. So then I'm like, okay, what do I do with this? Because it's like a little bit of a scandal thing going on, and I'm just like, ugh, this is annoying. So should I continue? Should I not? And this morning I woke up to be in first place, which is my ego. It's like, oh, amazing. I'm in first, right? Like I could take it all the way. But it makes me feel like, ooh, like I need to say something now, because it becomes an ego battle. It becomes like, okay, who has the most, who's gonna swipe at the last minute? And I don't want someone at the last minute to be like, I'm gonna just put her in first place again and then swipe, and then, you know, who knows who gets to see that money, right? Like if you're gonna support me, support my art, commission my art or something, like, you know what I mean? I'd rather it be in that way. At the end of the day, donate to me. Right? So yeah, so before it just like keeps spreading, I took down the links. Oh, the confirmation was that the reel that was pinned in my profile, it was taken down. And then also the link in my website, because I had it, I mean, not my website, in my Facebook, I had the link. It was the only link. It was also taken down. So I'm like, okay, understood. I understand what I gotta do. I gotta say no, pull the plug. You gotta know when you gotta take the loss. You gotta let the ego take the hit and then learn from it. So the wisdom extracted from this experience is to walk your talk. Walk it how you talk it. So yeah, so if you believe in yourself, if you stand up for truth, if you stand up for X, Y, and Z, show up for it. Show your face. Don't be afraid. Face it. Right? And own up to it. Accountability first and foremost, as well as the spark that I got. I mean, I got the spark, and this kind of helped the spark go through. It kind of pushed me towards that. So I like where I was going towards, and I'm still gonna go towards it. I'm not gonna just stop doing art because of it, even though it kind of tested my dream. It tested my goal, because when I found out about this, it was kind of brutal. I was like, am I not meant to be doing this? You know? So it had me in a pause for a little bit, and I was like, wow, like this is kind of crazy. Or it puts you like in this victimhood mentality, like, oh, why does this always happen to me? Why is it so difficult? And I was like, no. This is just, I'm filtering out the thoughts, the anger, the this and whatever. You know, thinking about it straight. It's just like, it taught me a lot how to show up for myself. It also exposed the level of support that I needed to give myself, and also the level of support that I had from others. If you're just willing to ask, if you're willing to ask that, hey, like I have this, can you support it? And there's people who will show up, and I'm really grateful for the people that did. I've learned who's in my corner. I've learned the genuine connections of people in the daily life, or just in general, that I was just like, wow, like I not gonna lie, I thought a lot of people supported me, and then this came along and it was like, oh, where's everyone? Interesting. And you know, it exposed a little bit of like things that I was under the illusion. It broke the illusion, right? Which honestly I'm grateful for, because it's better now than later, right? Right? So I want to read something that I read. I wrote and getting prepped to do this video, right? So it says, it's not easy to admit. Once you put your reputation on the line, how do you retract yourself? How do you back down, right? So it says, it's not easy to admit this, but in my desire to go after something I truly dreamed of, an opportunity landed on my algorithm multiple times, and I took it as a sign to sign up for it and leap towards it. I didn't look into it much besides read the terms and the conditions without reading between the lines. How can you turn a failure into an opportunity? That's something I had to ask myself. If it's an opportunity for growth, was it even a failure? I realized a similar pattern. I jump into things head first without planning and put in my full faith in others, and I found the strength to put it in myself. And when I found out that it's fake, a scam, or inauthentic, I pay the price. Or I end up just leaving, right? Wasted energy as well. So it says my confidence takes a hit. It almost sends me back into survival mode, right? Into a lost state of what am I even doing? Doubt, shame, guilt, and fear all get triggered and activated. And if you're not careful, you can stay stuck in the state for who knows how long. Have you ever been there? Do you recognize this state? Do you end up walking away from the dream and the desire that led you there? Out of shame, do you own up to it, or do you allow your ego to take the hit privately or publicly? I understand why not many do. Why you would prefer not to say anything and then just like, oh, act as if nothing happened, right? Why sometimes we prefer to let things dissolve without announcement, without the talk, but in a way that doesn't solve or help others. Others end up falling for the same thing, perhaps the same experience, with the same people or situations. I share this to own up to and to help someone out there as the other person did that helped me. It turns out that the art competition is not exactly what they say they are. Many things online point that the operator, that the company has run scams. While there are some winners and while they deliver on what they say, it has a scam connotation to it as well that I don't feel comfortable putting others, family or friends, into that experience. Like we're not doing that. We're not. While I'm not educated enough about the matter to speak out comfortably, I do have a couple of things on my end that I like to add to the scandal. I already mentioned the restriction, the potential security risk, and that some of the free voters were not being allowed to vote. I don't want to wait and find out that it is a scam, meaning that if someone donates and then they do get charges without their consent, I don't want the organization to get away with it. So I do want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the souls that voted, for the souls that donated, and the ones who showed up when I asked, the ones who showed up without me asking, and the ones that, without making me repeat twice, were there for me. And I do appreciate being seen as an artist, supported as an artist. I will now journey onto a different form. I hope that you continue to support my journey in whichever way that looks, because it's gonna take forms. But now, without the scams and without the middle people, right? This time it'll just be simply me, my art, my creations, and my soul in those creations and in that art. I hope that this inspires you to show up, to learn from your failures. I hope that you take a risk on yourself. You take a risk on yourself more than you do for others, in a way, right? And to retract the wisdom from the experiences that you've been through, to hold authority over your own life, over your own decisions. And if you can, to protect people, your cared ones, like the ones who are there for you, to protect them and speak up about what you've learned. Also share your story and also have the courage to put yourself out there, as nerve-wracking as it could be, as vulnerable as it could be, because yeah. So with that, I will announce the winner. I did have all the names of all the voters, and the winner was Jessie Williams, and I will contact her aside and see what she wants to win. And I appreciate everyone who voted. Thank you so much. This was awesome. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.